So I've been reading this book called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, which is a pretty popular book, but nonetheless, it's really, really good. There's some books that are popular and I read them and I'm like, this book's stupid. It was written for money. Which, by the way, you need to be extremely wary of any of the books that are written for profit. Most of the books that are really, really old are good because it's the first person to write about it. They're typically genuine. It's the fundamentals. Whenever you have an opportunity to read the fundamentals and the origin of a certain topic, that's where you should start. When you get too far on the outside of certain genres and you're new to reading, that's when you can be misled. At the same time, some of these books that are written for profit aren't completely worthless, but they're super, super surface level. There's this book called The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv, something like that. It's basically your mentality towards your wealth and how it influences your wealth. And I read it when I was early into reading books, especially self-help, and it was one of my favorite books. Fast forward probably 6 to 7 months later, I picked up the book thinking I would get a similar feeling from it, and I really didn't. I was like, bro, this is just stupid. This guy is just trying to promote his seminar. And there's some basic stuff in there that I think is good when you first read it and you're new to the genre. But at a certain point, it's not the heart of the genre. It's not the fundamentals. It's not the basics. And the deeper you go into the fundamentals, that's when you understand it and can actually teach it to other people. Because when you can teach something to other people, it's locked into your psyche. So I've got a pretty good grasp of this genre, personal growth, self-help. I've read so many of the damn books, and I have a few that stick out. I also like philosophy, and I'm getting into that, but for example, a lot of the philosophy is centered around, or the philosophy I'm looking at, which is about being present, happiness, that type of thing. It's derived from Buddhism. So initially I found this incredible book, which I'm not denouncing this book in any way, The Almanac of Naval, Ravikant. I hate saying his last name. But The Almanac of Naval, incredible book, but it's more basic. And he references the book he derived his knowledge from, which is The Power of Now. I read The Power of Now, and if you go even deeper, a lot of it's derived from Buddhism. So really the heart of the subject is Buddhism. And that's where you want to go. But if it's not where you start, that's also okay. You don't need to start, because Buddhism could be a little bit boring for you to start reading, to be honest. Read whatever you like to read. The best book to read is the book that you're gonna devour. So whatever shiny object that you see in the realm of reading, pick it up, read it, enjoy it. That's the most important part. You don't want reading to be something boring and something you feel obligated to do. But at the same time, once you become a better reader, you're able to go back to the really, really basic fundamental stuff like Buddhism. You can read Buddhist scripture. And that's when you gain an incredible understanding of the topic. You've gone all the way macro, all the way down to the micro on the subject. That's the secret to turning it into your own. And sometimes it's reading a book over and over again. The Almanac of Naval, I look at that book all the time and I'm like, Because most of the time, this is a major principle in life, most of the time we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. So if you go back and look at books that you really, really enjoyed in the past, it can nail it into your brain in a way that you might not have had it the first time around reading it. So your favorite books, go back and flip to your favorite pages. Leave a little sticky note on your favorite pages. Highlight the book. And it makes it really easy to flip back to what really stuck out to you. Because so often we read a book and that knowledge goes right out of your head. That's why if you find a book you really like, the way to actually get something out of it is to read it more than once. And that doesn't always mean you read it front to back, because there's some wasted time in there. There's some stuff that is in every book that does not need to be there. But those pages, those paragraphs that really resonate, go back to those and let it, melt into your brain. Let the standout paragraphs just melt and become a part of you. That's when books become extremely dangerous. So my name's Liam. I kind of just talk about things that I realize about what I do and try to help anyone who watches my videos learn from my mistakes and save time. Hope this one was good. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.